What's up, SC Nation? So through my work on the podcast, the blogs, YouTube videos such as this, I have these conversations with different people, whether they're sales engineers, salespeople, engineers in general. And a topic of discussion comes up, mostly with sales engineers, is that we have so much to learn in so many different aspects. We sell so many different products in most cases. What are we supposed to focus on in terms of learning? What are we supposed to study? And this conversation comes up quite often, like surprisingly. And it seems that the common way of doing it, which is, in my opinion, the bad way, is actually just answering customer questions. There is no focus. We just get a customer question and we answer it and we learn through it, which is a good way of learning something new. But it is not a good way of developing skills. There is no consistency. And sometimes, if we ever have time, which seems to be rare with sales engineers, we actually have to think of something to do on the spot. Like today, I want to study X. Now, in my opinion, that's not the best way to do it because, again, there's no intentionality. And I don't know who said it, but the road to mastery is through intentional practice. I don't know if they said that or something to that effect, but that is the gist of it, basically. The examples that I like to use quite often are like musicians, like pianists or people who play guitar, or athletes, anybody who are like masters of their profession. They didn't get to where they are by just willy-nilly sitting. Let's take a pianist. They didn't just willy-nilly sit in front of a computer and start playing sit in front of the piano, not the computer, and start playing the piano, and they were amazing. They had a plan. They had a coach, and they had a plan which they followed on a day-to-day basis to achieve the mastery that they wanted to achieve. That's how they became great. Like Tiger Woods, he would play golf or practice golf, go to the gym, do all these different things to improve. And I like to think of sales engineers as athletes. Generally speaking, any profession could be treated as an athletic profession, where we have to practice in order to do our job properly. So we don't really have coaches. We may have a mentor, we may have a manager. Some have coaches, many don't. So it's on us to figure out what we're gonna do. So the way I like to do it, the way I've done it, especially since I moved to the new company that I'm with, is I sat down and I had a brain dump. I just wrote down everything I could think of that could help me in my career in terms of learning. So whether it's soft skills, whether it's technical skills, or anything in between. I don't know if there is anything in between, but presenting technical stuff, that's something in between. I'm just making up stuff right now. Anyways, I came up with a brain dump with everything that I wanted to learn. And then I tried to group them in terms of themes. So, for example, right now, another big issue is that a lot of the things that we want to learn may not actually lead to more sales, but could make us more comfortable talking to customers. Like we could sell without it, but we won't be as confident talking to customers. We won't be the best trusted advisor, as John Kerr would say. So with that brain dump, the big thing that I have with customers right now is automation. I'm not an expert in automation. I know how it works. I know how it does a little bit. So I need to get better at that. I've been doing my job for the last 5 years without deep expertise in automation. And I've been successful. But we're at a point where automation is so prevalent that it is time for me to pick up that skill. Whether I end up using it hands-on, like doing actual automation for the customer, or just being able to talk about it with the customer and understanding what the customer is saying to me. So that's a theme. So while I was doing the brain dump, I may have written stuff like Python, Rest. I don't know if that means anything to you, but these are all terms of an automation. Tickle, that's an old software language, old programming scripting language. So all that's under automation. And I put it under the theme of automation, and I prioritize it. And then there are other things like routing protocols, new routing protocols, or security testing, or visibility, network visibility. these are all different themes that when I wrote down all my ideas in terms of a brain dump, I was able to group them. And then what I did was for the rest of the year, I put in the different months and I tried to group either each month it has its own theme, or each quarter, or every 2 months, whatever it is that you feel comfortable, in order to become not necessarily an expert, or as expert as you need to be able to have a conversation with a customer. So in my case, I tried to do, because I was brand new, I wanted to learn a whole bunch of different things. I did every month had its own theme. Next year, because I've already caught up on a lot of the things, I can dig deep, so I can make the theme quarterly, or or every 2 months, or every 6 months, whatever it is. I can do that. And initially, I did that through an Excel spreadsheet, which you can see here. But as I got deeper, like, Excel spreadsheet is good if you like working on the computer. It doesn't look nice. I can't really, if I print it and put it on my wall, it doesn't really look good. So I came up with a learning planning document that I'm using right now, and it's on the website if you want to check it out at WeTheSalesEngineers.com. And it has a page where you can do a brain dump of all the different stuff that you want to study, and then you have the different months where you can actually split up what you want to study on a month-to-month, on a yearly basis, then month-to-month basis, then week-to-week basis. And that's how I schedule my planning. It doesn't always work 100% because we're in sales, so things come up, a customer calls, whether they have an emergency or they want to buy something and they really want your help. You kind of drop stuff to go do it, but at least you have an idea of what you want to study. And they say like you need 10,000 hours to become an expert in something, but you only need around 20 hours to become knowledgeable. So 20 hours is easy to achieve in a month or 2 months to become knowledgeable enough to have a conversation, and you can dig as deep as you want beyond that. So minimum time to become knowledgeable is 20 hours, and then you have up to 10,000 hours to become an expert. You have all that time. That's it for today. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share. If you find it useful to other people, by all means, as I mentioned, share. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you next time.